What's up, everybody? This is Vijay from TechImaginist, and this is the Huawei P30 Pro. Oh, yeah, the Huawei Ban. As we know, China-based Huawei Technologies Company Limited is the world's largest telecom equipment maker. It is the second largest smartphone manufacturer by market share, beating Apple at number 3 and second only to Samsung. In addition to smartphones and computers, Huawei also makes network equipment like cell phone tower technology, enterprise wireless tech, switches, routers, Wi-Fi devices at our homes, and even video surveillance equipment. You probably have heard of some version of the Huawei ban and how this is significant in the trade war between US and China since 2018. On May 15, 2019, US President Trump signed an executive order banning American technology firms from using foreign-made network equipment that could be a threat to US national security. This ban affects the market share for any foreign network equipment manufacturer, including Huawei, for products like 3G, 4G towers, radios, and upcoming 5G infrastructure. Then the US government specifically blacklists Huawei, which prevents American companies from providing any products or services to Huawei. That brings us to Huawei phones running Google's Android. Going forward, Huawei will lose access to Android's OS updates, Google Play Store, and Google apps like Gmail, YouTube, Google Maps, and background processes like Google Play Services, location, and malware protection. This also means that Huawei's laptops cannot use Intel processors or Microsoft Windows operating systems. Other companies and apps like Facebook will also follow suit. And the biggest blow of all comes from UK-based chip designer ARM that provides design templates and architecture for most of the mobile processors in the market, including Apple's Qualcomm Snapdragon, Samsung's Exynos, and Huawei's in-house chip manufacturer, HiSilicon. ARM is bound to halt all contracts with Huawei because ARM's design contained US origin technology. Is Huawei's equipment specifically a threat to US national security, or is it about sabotaging Huawei's success? Well, experts and intelligence agencies have warned that the Chinese government could use backdoors in Huawei's equipment to spy on the US and other nations. This could be true for just about any network equipment provider from China or any other country for that matter. But Huawei is the widely used one. So this is not against Huawei, but Trump is just hitting China where it would hurt the most to get better trade terms with China. So how much of this affects Huawei? It's highly unlikely that this ban would be forever and China might just negotiate terms with the US. A Cold War is not good for either countries. However, if things don't improve, Huawei is not going to crumble like ZTE did when it was banned, because it's a huge company. Huawei will have continued access to the Android open source project, as it is, of course, open source, and it will continue to make Android phones without any of Google's services. This is something Huawei has already been doing successfully in China with its own app store and security services, since most of China do not use Google apps and services. Outside China, it will indeed be difficult to sell their phones stripped off of Google's services, as a lot of Android users depend on Google apps and the Play Store. Even if they continue to use open source Android, the Huawei App Store still won't have the US-based apps like Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, Netflix, and those are mostly all that I use in my smartphone. Most third-party apps also depend on Google background processors and services to function properly. Huawei has been mindful of rainy days like this one and has also been developing its own operating system named Hongmeng for a while now, and it is said to gradually replace the Android OS on their devices. If they succeed, they will be creating a good Android alternative, and if they plan on making it open source, it might be a good replacement for manufacturers who don't want to depend on the West for software. So how successful will Huawei be outside China? And if it does, will we be seeing a good alternative to Google's Android in the future? Well, I'm excited to try something new. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So how are we as consumers affected? Should we just sell off our Huawei devices? Not just yet. There is a 90-day extension during which Google Play Store, apps, services, and updates will continue to work on Huawei devices. It's a complicated mess, but as I mentioned earlier, the ban may be lifted like Trump did in the case of ZTE for favorable trade terms. Well, if China complies. Huawei is simply too big for China to not bail them out, and that's exactly what Trump wants here. So if you just bought your P30 Pro, hold on to your investment a little longer and do not lose money over a panic sale, as there's still a lot that this phone has to offer. If you like my video and this is your first time here, subscribe to my channel for future videos. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Come hang out with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TechImaginist. Talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.